Good morning, fourth graders. I hope you guys had a great Easter vacation. Hope it was full of Easter egg hunts and dyeing Easter eggs. I know my kids and we dyed some Easter eggs, but we dyed also my kitchen rug. So your teacher was a little upset about that one, but I just let it go. Now my kitchen rug has some blue and some green and some pink places on it. And if we get back to school, I will show you what it looks like. Well, today in language, we are starting a new chapter and a new concept for you this year. But you did learn this last year. Now, do you remember when you were a child? Well, you're still a child, but a little child, and you played the matching game. You would flip over a blue ball, and then you would also want to find the other blue ball to match it. Well, that's how it is with subject and verbs. They have to match. If you have a singular subject, you have to have a singular verb. And so let's talk for a minute about singular and plural words. Now, we know a singular word is, or a noun is meaning one thing, like boy, or girl, or dog. But a plural noun means two or more things, such as dogs, cats, boys, girls. And you guys have worked all of that this year and last year. Well, now we're going to see that when you have a singular subject talking about one thing, then you have to also have a singular verb that matches. Now, whenever we have singular verbs will end in S. Now, not to confuse plural nouns end in S. So look right here. This verb runs. We know that it is singular because it ends in S. And so to give in a subject, we would say he, talking about one person, he runs. We have a singular subject, and now we have a singular verb. Now, if you look at the plural noun here, dogs, then that means that we have to have a plural verb. Now, plural verbs do not end in S. Singular verbs end in S. And I know that's a little different, so you'll just have to remember that, okay? Memorize that rule. Singular verbs end in S. Plural nouns end in S. And so if we were using the noun dogs in a sentence, we would have to have a plural verb with it. So we could say, the dogs ran. Meaning, see how this does not end in S, so that means it's a plural verb. And so our singular subjects need a singular verb and plural subjects need a plural verb. Now, if you remember a couple weeks ago, we learned a list of singular verbs and plural verbs. And it's on your paper there in your book on page 231. If you look at the bottom where it says that, look closely. It says the verbs am, is, was, has, and does are singular. Notice all of them except for am end in S. So he is, he was, he has, he does. Singular he goes with the singular verb of those. Now, plural verbs are, were, have, and do. The dogs are, the dogs were, the dogs have, the dogs do. As you see, dogs is plural, and so are these verbs, are, were, have, and do. So remember, the subjects and the verbs have to match. If you have a singular subject, you have to have a singular verb that matches. If you have a plural subject, you have to have a plural verb that matches it also. Now turn your books to page 232, and let's look right there at exercise thing A at the top. It says write, sing. You can just write S if you want to. In the blank, if the following subjects and verbs are singular, write PL, you can just write P, if they aren't plural. So look at the first one. It says students recite. Now students, is that talking about one student or is it talking about many students? That's right, many students. So students is plural, so therefore recite is plural. So you would put a P beside of number one. Look at number two, she says. Now, she, is that talking about one person or many persons? That's right, just one person. So she is singular and says Oh, do you see it says ends in an S? So that means that it's singular also. And so she says is singular. So put an S beside a number 2. Let's do one more. Friendship is. All right, think about friendship. Is that singular or is that plural? It's singular, you're right. And then is, oh, you've already memorized that. You know that is singular. So those words are singular also. And the last one, look right here. Duck quacks. Duck, talk about one thing, quacks. Ends in an S, so that's singular. So you know those words are singular. So take your time as you go through these. Think about what you're doing. Remember, singular subjects have to have singular verbs. Plural subjects have to have plural verbs. You can look back and forth in your book to on page 231 to help you. It tells you that very clearly, especially that look closely box at the bottom. It's very, very helpful. Hope you guys have a good day.